favorite sports team, the spookiest podcast in the world about sports. Ooh, Halloween is back again. Hope you're all getting a lot of treats and not that many tricks.
All about those ghosts that go ho, ho, ho.
What?
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 This is a Halloween episode, right?
No.
Planning ahead for next year, Halloween.
You think we're that far ahead?
I mean, it'd be great if we were. We could always plan that one and then work backwards. Then we have to get ahead. Because if we plan all the way out till Halloween, then we kind of have to, we got to catch up.
Let me talk to our researcher that helps write the episodes.
It's only 40-something episodes. It's fine. Come on, hurry. Let's go.
Yeah, have them done in 2 days.
If we just keep going and don't sleep and don't eat, we'll have an entire year's worth of content in 3 days.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I am not wrong. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. Welcome to Go, my favorite sports team. My name is Markiplier. I am the not smart knower, and I'm also bad at scheduling things. Shut up.
The not smart.
Editors make me correct.
The not smart.
Here, put it in there. There we go. And this is Tyler.
That's me. I'm Tyler, your host that knows the things.
Don't say it.
The one that
don't say it.
That has a master's degree in sport administration. I'm the guy who's done the sports, played the sports, and studied the sports.
There we go. You haven't said that in weeks, months. You haven't mentioned your master's degree.
I feel like it's been years.
Yeah. I forgot to turn on that light.
Oh, you should do that. Surprisingly, you've looked great without it, so. Here. Blue. We'll go green. Red. There we go. Now it's the holiday colors. Anyway. What were we talking about?
We were talking about this podcast and who we are as people.
That's true. And as we continue on that trajectory, we should talk about news, things that are happening in sports.
We should. And we got tons of news over at the sports desk. Tyler.
I have one news article.
All right.
Two-way star Travis Hunter for sure is entering the NFL draft. Now, this is intriguing because this is the first time in a long time that we've had a star player who played both sides of the ball in football. He plays offense as a wide receiver and he plays defense as a cornerback. And he is considered one of the best in both of those positions in the entire US. We haven't seen that in a while. He plays, I think it's like 90+% of the snaps of the entire game. So like special teams is the only one that he isn't necessarily always in for.
That's pretty cool.
And so this star player, his name's Travis Hunter. He plays under Deion Sanders, who also was a rare phenomenon when he was in the NFL, in that he played baseball and football. That's his head coach, and he's considered the greatest cornerback in NFL history.
Go on. That I kept the whole last episode, my head was being pulled down.
Really?
Because the power cable was under this. So I kept having like, why is this keeps sinking lower and lower? Anyway. Go on, Deion something?
Deion Sanders,
yes.
One of the greatest cornerbacks in NFL history.
Oh,
he
we
played
all
for
know.
the Cincinnati Reds.
Oh, wait.
He was a Major League Baseball player and a professional football player. And he played for the Reds.
Well, that's just cheating.
No, it's not cheating.
Pick one.
No.
Leave some glory for the rest of everybody.
He was a tremendous athlete.
He stole the spot of someone else.
I think he earned the spot. I think he was better than the other person.
He should share.
I don't know if this is sharing.
That's what sports rules. Judging, consistent rules, sharing.
Sharing.
That's very
Athletes
important.
have to share.
They have to share.
But this is the first time in a long time that we're going to have a two-way player enter the NFL draft.
Two-way player.
That means he plays on both sides of the ball. Offense and defense. Two positions.
Why?
Because he's that good.
Because he's greedy.
Because he's that athletic.
Doesn't share.
Because he's so good.
Doesn't share.
But one of the biggest things is when he enters the NFL draft, he only wants to go to a team that will allow him to play.
Under it. How is it still under? Do you see this? It's still under it. I just overed it.
It got tangled.
I don't like
that will allow him to play both sides of the ball in the NFL.
I see that yours is nicely snag-proofed. You didn't think to snag mine?
Go on.
I had it at one point,
Go
and then we
on.
moved stuff around in the studio a long time ago, and
Go
I
on.
didn't check it because I'm not over there.
Go on.
So it's the first time in a long time we've seen a player of this caliber playing on both sides of the ball enter the NFL draft, and he wants to go to a team that allows him to play both sides in the NFL.
And who is that?
Travis Hunter.
No, the team.
Oh, I don't know what team that's going to be. He hasn't been drafted yet. He'll be in the draft this next season. But Travis Hunter plays for the Colorado Buffs. Colorado Buffaloes.
The
They're the Buffs.
They're the Buffs.
I mean, they do call them, they abbreviate themselves to Buffs.
Well, that's dumb.
But he is one of the top 3 players for the Heisman Trophy, which is the best college football player in the entire, like, Division I college football.
Doesn't sound like he's sharing the award.
Well, you know, he's got 74 receptions for 911 yards and 9 receiving touchdowns and has 3 interceptions and logs more than 120 total snaps per game.
Not very sharing.
That's him. That's the news I got. That's what I got.
I have news.
What's your news?
I'm trying to figure my microphone is not.
What is happening?
I'm trying to get comfy. I want this to be under, and I need to, but it's stuck on the things. I gotta unplug it.
There's chaos here in the gmfst studio. Mark is unscrewing his microphone as we sit here.
It's just a sensory night.
We're just going to take apart a number of things in the middle of the episode. Everything's going to be fine.
Oh, fuck.
Did you keep all the parts?
Oh, shit.
I don't know if you can hear him, but he said, oh, fuck, and oh, shit, as pieces are flying everywhere in the studio.
I just got to rebuild it all. All right, keep them entertained.
All right, I'm going to keep you entertained. Apparently, they're talking about doing Major League Baseball Rays expansion, figuring out the baseball situation after the hurricane destroyed the Tropicana field last month, Hurricane Milton. So they're trying to figure out what they're going to do about the ballpark situation in Tampa Bay. Because in order for them to vote for either a new stadium, which would be $312.5 million, or they're going to try and figure out repairing it. And so there's just been a halt, so they're delaying that decision. So then they have to figure out what stadium they're going to use in the meantime once, you know, the next season comes up. Recruits are flipping to other teams. We've got Pep Guardo signed a new 2-year contract with Manchester City. He's a bearded, bald man. I believe he's their coach.
Wade?
It looks like it, you know, he kind of looks like a more youthful Wade. Apparently, LeBron James is taking a break from social media, citing negative takes towards his play, I presume, and his posts. And UConn's Gino Auriemma sets all-time basketball wins record. That's massive. It's the women's basketball head coach, by the way, after he notched career win number 1,217. Apparently, a U.S. tennis star, Taylor Fritz, hails amazing impact of his influencer girlfriend after he's had an impressive season. So I imagine she's given him a workout.
That'd be weird. That'd be weird.
This is all going to get cut out anyway.
No, it's not. Why would it get cut out?
The first man in 15 years to reach a Grand Slam final. So I imagine he's attributing his success to the immense support he's gotten from his girlfriend throughout his training and the entire process of working towards this incredible achievement. And apparently his girlfriend is considered the most famous woman in men's tennis. And they're considered a power couple.
Power throuple?
A power throuple. And the pair's profile skyrocketed since appearing in the Netflix docuseries, Breakpoint, which follows the highs and lows of life throughout professional tennis. Kind of seems like Hard Knocks for football. If you don't know what Hard Knocks is, it's like a look into the locker room during the training camp period. So you see what developing players that just got drafted or undrafted free agents that joined the team and how things go as they go through the process of figuring out who's going to make the final cut for the season. And this one's really cool. Kim Ye-ji insists that nothing has changed since the Olympics. No much change, even though she blew up, with internet stardom. So the 32-year-old casually displayed the medal that she has and says pretty much nothing has changed. She's still training and doing more shooting, and there's nothing in her life that has adjusted with the newfound internet fame. Is that better?
This is much better. It's much better.
You like that better?
I like low profile mic arms. So they make some, they make really expensive ones, but also they're overpriced, but they make cheaper ones where it's like it slides low across the desk. They're so much better.
I honestly wish this was just compiled next to the microphone so that the cable could just run down it, because this gets in the way of any flexibility of where you put the mic.
It's just the way this particular mic is. It's based on an archaic design from like the 80s. It's because everyone's like, oh, the Shure SM7B. It's a fine microphone. It's okay. Also, you should have it like this close.
All right. Is that better?
You should be eating it. Oh, pretty much. Like, not lying, that this is where this is why this microphone's dumb, right? It sounds best right here.
Which then you get all the like lip slappy.
No.
I don't know. I must slap my lips a lot. I hear it a lot.
Don't put it in. Don't do that.
Anyway, to the actual episode that we were going to talk about.
No. We have news.
I just talked about a bunch of news.
I have better news.
All right, what's your news?
I have news. Cleveland, Ohio. Owners of former state champs Coffee Concept in Kent will open a new bar. 3 passionate women's sports fans to open the first ever women's sports bar in Cleveland.
Oh, that's massive. Yeah.
I don't know if it's the first like women's sports bar ever, but in Cleveland, the W Sports Bar, I believe it's called just the W Sports Bar, will be the first ever women's sports bar in Cleveland. And apparently Cleveland is a very big city for female sports.
Interesting.
In general, yeah. I don't know. This is what they say. They say, quote, does Northeast Ohio like women's sports? This is a weird quote. Does Northeast Ohio like women's sports? And as you can tell, Cleveland very much does. We just had the Final Four, tennis in the land, very much all things women's sports in this area, says Ali Eclairin. 7 months later, the business owners decided to shut their doors in Kent to focus on a brand new dream. The W Sports Bar will be a partnership between Cobb McLaren and fellow women's sports enthusiast Shelley Pippin from Brew Nuts. Judging by women's sports watch parties already happening in Brew Nuts and beyond, women's sports fans are ready for a place to call their own. Quote, at this exact moment, there are no active women's sports teams in Cleveland, but yet we pack the room and all these businesses to watch women's sports team when even the nearest team is multiple states away.
So is it going to be a bar for women only to go in, or is it a bar that only shows women's sports?
I'm guessing.
Or is it both?
I'm guessing just showing women's sports.
Okay.
Because I believe there would probably be some like discriminatory things to have, like, women only.
That already exists because that's how private business works. You're allowed to decide who you want to serve and stuff like that. You'll obviously get in trouble for certain takes on that, but that happens for like golf clubhouses, for example.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they're going to be. It says, diddly-dee, we want it to feel family-friendly from the menu to the drinks to the atmosphere that people will just want to be here.
Well, I mean, family-friendly makes it sound like a whole family can come. It's not just for women.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's just showing women's sports.
Which is
like
really cool. Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah, that's much like we talked about in the PWHL primer, is the need to showcase women's sports more. And part of that is having an avenue where people can go to enjoy women's sports.
This is me.
This is your ADHD on.
No, this is like when I'm in my office, my recording room, I change my recording setup so much because I'll get like, I cannot even remotely think about being in this space without this one cable changed. and then it'll take me an hour and a half to start recording anything because I literally cannot do anything until I change that one thing, and then I change it and I'm like, this sucked. I'm changing it back. And that happens over and over and over again until I destroy my entire existence.
And now for a word from our sponsors.
Buy this cream. Put it on your penis and it'll make it gleam.
All right, Mark.
Yeah.
Great news. Fantastic stuff.
Woo!
But it's now time to
I
jump
thought
in.
you had great news. I thought you were saying that, like, great news, Mark.
I
like,
went through so much when you were doing things.
I thought that was great news.
No, I was saying your news was great news.
What news did I have?
The bar.
I forgot.
W Sports Bar.
I forgot already.
All right, let's get into the actual episode, which is about sports and Santa Claus.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel, huh? The year-end sport clearance. All right, let's see.
Around the holidays, sport teams get into the holiday spirit. You've got football games around Christmas time and on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
They had the same thing for Halloween. Thanksgiving is a big thing for it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have that with the NBA, and every sport going on is going to have some sort of Santa holiday special type treatment and branding.
Gotcha.
So a lot of times, halftime shows also turn festive. Anything from elves to reindeer, Santa Claus, Santa especially, everywhere. Fans will dress up as Santa Claus when they attend the event. But while the real Santa Claus is always full of cheer, some of these impersonators are not exactly the most jollyful. So, to get into the holiday spirit, we'll be reading some stories where Santa showed up and things went wrong. You could say some bad Santas.
Oh, I see what this is. This is just stories.
Yeah.
I see. I should have read these beforehand. I was not prepared.
It's all right. You can read the second one.
Okay.
So the first one is called Santa Crashed the Fiesta Bowl.
Okay.
For those of you that don't know, the Fiesta Bowl is a bowl game in college football. So on Christmas Day, 1979 in Tempe, Arizona, the Arizona Wildcats are playing the Pittsburgh Panthers. Fans from all over the state flocked to see the game, including Bob Logan. His buddies all got tickets to see the game, but Bob had other plans. Before making his way to the stadium, he called his brother, who was back in Pittsburgh, and told him to watch the game, that he'd be in the halftime show. He said the same thing to his friend, Jay John, who was his ride to the game. The thing is, nobody but Bob knew this. Neither team had booked him to appear, and he wasn't invited to be a part of the halftime show. So how did he expect to just waltz onto the field? No issue. No one stopping him. Easy. He'd wear a Santa costume.
Ah, I see.
His dad actually gifted him that Santa suit years before, and he wore the suit for the entire almost 2-hour ride from Tucson to Tempe. And once he was at the gates to enter the stadium, he just walked in.
He didn't think he could put it on halfway, like hit a rest stop right before he gets to the stadium. He had to wear it the whole way.
Why? They let Santa walk in without a ticket.
Yeah, but he could have put it on before he got to the gate. Some poor kid driving by him is on the highway, looks out his window, sees Santa Claus in a beat-up station wagon. Dad, why Santa?
He's on the corner dealing drugs.
Why
Santa? Why Santa?
Wait, the kid's on the corner?
No.
The guy's driving in a car. He's on the corner.
No, you couldn't switch from the car to the corner.
Right. Okay, so it's a kid at the gas station. If he did not put the Santa costume until he got just before the gate, he went to a pit stop, went in the gas station bathroom. Kid's buying candy in there, sees Santa stumble out of the bathroom with booze, bottles falling out of his coat. He's like, hey, Santa's drunk again. And then kids' dreams are nightmares now.
Exactly.
That's the worst thing to do.
But anyway, he donned that Santa suit, walked into the game, no ticket. They didn't even bother him.
It's like a construction worker carrying a ladder. You can get in anywhere.
So apparently a security guard did actually see him, grabbed him by the arm, but You'd think that'd be the end of his clever ruse.
Mm-hmm.
Bob simply said, "I'm part of the halftime show," and the guard let him go. Santa Bob was now free to find a seat in the stands and enjoy the show until halftime. As he watched the game, kids of all ages came up to him to say hello to Santa. See?
Wow.
Ruining their dreams.
Ruining their dreams.
Finally, second quarter ended. It was time. Bob walked straight down the steps, opened a gate to the field. As he stepped onto the field, a security guard told him he wasn't on the list. But Bob was ready for him. "Look, buddy, I don't know about any list.
I'm Santa Claus, buddy.
I'm supposed to be on that field. If there's no Santa on the field on Christmas Day, how's that gonna look, huh?"
You know, this is where he went wrong, because if he said, "I don't know about lists," he should have said, "Look, buddy, I know about 2 lists. You're gonna be on one of them.
Yeah.
You gotta decide which one you're gonna be on, all right?"
And then he says, "Do you really want to be responsible for arresting Santa on Christmas?" His little speech worked. Since cell phones didn't exist in 1979, it's not like this guard could easily check and the halftime show was starting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, radios existed. I don't know why he didn't check on the radio. Two-way radios. That was pretty common still back then. So Santa Bob stays at the edge of the field while the band plays, looking for his perfect moment to make his appearance so that he doesn't interrupt the show. He doesn't want to interrupt it.
Of course.
And not at all.
Yeah.
He wasn't invited, but wants to be a part of the
He knew
halftime
the
show.
curse that he just put on that guard. He's like, "Hey, what if Santa doesn't appear?" And he's like, "Oh God, what if Santa appears and they realize I'm drunk?"
Oh,
what
if they realize I'm just peddling drugs?
Oh man, he just opens up a coat, just cocaine falls out out of the bag. It's just a pile.
Sorry, I carried it from the North Pole.
It's snow. It's really good snow.
So, about 5 minutes, the band started to wind down. A large box in the middle of the field started to open up. In the box contained a Santa. Bob was in trouble. But as it opened, he could see it as just balloons, which started floating into the air.
Wow.
It's the perfect time for him to strike. He ran out to the 50-yard line, waving like Miss America, and looked directly at the cameras and said hello to his brother, who was watching on TV.
Santa has a brother?
He then ran back off the field and back to his seat in the stands to finish watching the game. No one ever stopped him, and only a few of his friends knew he wasn't actually supposed to be there.
For some of the kids that watched that, they heard him go like, "Hello to my brother," and they went like, "Santa has a brother!"
Oh! That's how they made the movie Fred Claus!
Fred Claus.
You haven't heard of this movie?
What the fuck is Fred Claus?
Oh my God.
What do you mean, oh my God? I'm looking at this. What the fuck is this?
It's a movie.
I know it's... I am aware that it's a movie. I've never heard of this.
It's a Vince Vaughn.
Looks dumb. Vince Vaughn is a terrible actor. Vince Vaughn is just atrocious.
Anyway, no one stopped him.
I don't understand how Vince Vaughn keeps getting work. Just doesn't make any sense to me.
If Bob hadn't shared the story publicly decades later, we never would have known it had happened.
Mm-hmm.
So it could all be made up anyway.
Ludacris was in this movie as DJ Donnie. Great. It had $100 million budget. What's it with Christmas movies and having egregious budgets? $100 million.
People, it's the season of giving.
Oh, to who?
To the Vince Vaughn's pockets.
Doesn't make any sense, but whatever.
Time for story number 2, which you totally prepped for, right?
I did. Yeah, I was prepping while I got that. All right, here we go. What's story number 2? Here we go. We're going to talk about a story that takes us all the way back to December 15th, 1968, which, as we all know, was when Christmas used to be before they changed it.
Before it changed.
The communists came and changed it. The Philadelphia Eagles playing the Minnesota Vikings in their final game of the year. 2 cities, same state. It's been a rough season. They're worst on the record. The fans are not happy. Adding to the sour mood is the terrible weather. There was a massive snowstorm the night before, so spectators showed up to snow-covered seats, and if they weren't cold enough already, by kickoff the temperature had dipped to 20 degrees, below 20 degrees, I'm assuming Fahrenheit, and 30-mile-per-hour winds, which is like 42.5 kilometers per hour. Gus, battered. And this 20 degrees Fahrenheit is like negative 8 degrees Celsius, something like that. Negative 5, 6, something like that. Cold.
It's very cold.
Knowing that spirits would be
very cold.
Knowing that spirits would be low, the entertainment director for the Eagles, Bill, quote, Moon Mullen, books a halftime show filled with Christmas cheer.
Easy, right? Cold. It's already a winter wonderland. It's Christmas time.
Call up someone, hey, you got a Christmas cheer?
You got Christmas cheer?
How much? How much for the cheer?
Is that the North Pole snow I've
Give
heard
me the
about?
good snow. I want the good The show was a Christmas pageant. Christmas pageant. With a 50-piece band playing Here Comes Santa Claus. That's too many people playing that song. You don't need that many.
that is a large band for Here Comes Santa Claus.
The Eagles cheerleaders dressed up as elves, which I can only imagine just means they had ears.
I probably like the traditional elf hat that's striped.
Sure,
it wasn't just the green, they were green and red.
And a large Christmas float with 8 life-sized fiberglass reindeer. All was set for a wonderful evening of Christmas cheer to really warm the hearts and cockles of everyone at that game.
Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Nothing could possibly go wrong. There was just one thing that went wrong as halftime approached. Santa was a no-show. If only they hired the Santa from the previous story.
I know, he would have been there.
He showed up just on time. Due to the weather, the Santa they had booked couldn't make it to the stadium, which, I mean, come on, what kind of Santa is that?
Yeah, can't you just fly with your reindeer?
If the Postal Service can make it through the rain, sleet, what was the slogan? No matter rain, sleet, hail, or snow, we'll get you your mail with a certain amount of blow.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right.
All hope of a cheerful halftime show was lost until 20-year-old Frank Olivo was spotted in the... Is this the same guy?
No. The other guy was Bob.
The other guy was Bob. This just happens to be some Santas. This guy heard about the other guy's story.
Bob,
Was like,
Frank.
Good idea.
Well, it's like I said, a lot of people show up to these games in December wearing Santa outfits.
That's fair. And they probably do more now after these stories.
Oh, yeah.
20-year-old Frank Olivo was spotted in the stands in a full Santa costume, beard, bushy white eyebrows, and all. Frank was a regular at the stadium and always dressed as Santa for the last game of the year. He was quickly asked to star in the Christmas pageant, to sit on the float, wave to the crowds, accompanied by the entire cheerleading team and a huge band. Sounds like the most epic fan experience ever, right?
I mean, I'd totally do that. It
Nothing
sounds like a fan
can go
experience. You get to be
wrong.
on the field. That's
It's
fantastic.
incredible. Nothing went wrong.
Except
After the beginning it was. The band started playing, all 50 members. They only got sousaphones. 50 sousaphones lined up.
it's just Bob with multiple clones of Bob with their
Exactly.
sousaphones.
The cheerleader elves were cheerleading. The float started its floating. Then immediately, the float got stuck in the snow, forcing Santa Frank to abandon the sleigh and march around the stadium on foot. To make matters worse, he didn't have a sack of presents to carry. Instead, he was given an equipment bag filled with soggy towels. The fans... Why soggy towels?
They were the used towels. They threw them in there, and they're like,
good.
because it's a
yeah.
snowy game, and apparently was muddy, which means it probably was not even cold earlier. It just got colder as the day went on.
I don't even know if this was something that he was given. He probably just saw a red duffel bag by the bleachers of one of the teams. Like, this will work. I'm making it up as I go. And sweat oozing off of it. He picked that up. The fans who were already wet, cold, and stressed at a tied score. Stressed.
Yeah, Eagles fans are a little bit rowdy.
Sounds like a fun game. Why would they be stressed?
Because they're not winning by a lot.
It's tied. It's anybody's game. Anyway, the sad Santa was the last straw. Yeah, unfortunately, he was frowning the entire time. They could tell.
Tears running down his face, making more mud as he stepped.
Santa Frank, who had been tossing candy canes in the stands, started having snowballs thrown back at him as soon as he was getting pelted by not just snow, but beer bottles and half-eaten hoagies.
Oh,
Good.
they're giving him gifts.
Hey, that's not bad. Well, how pissed you got about how shitty of a city do you have to be? You start throwing shit at Santa Claus.
Welcome to Philadelphia.
I mean, I've heard rumors that Philadelphia was a fucking hellscape. Of
We did a
nothingness
show
and-
there once.
We sure did, didn't we?
I will say Detroit was the crowd that was the
Neither
worst,
was good.
Neither was good.
Just kidding. Am I? Anyway, some of the over 100 snowballs that struck him got him right in the face, knocking his fake eyebrows right off. Man, whoever witnessed this was close enough to see that he was frowning, depressed, throwing candy canes, and had his eyebrows knocked off. I'm questioning who was actually watching this, unless it's like an all-tell-all by Frank himself.
It was televised.
Oh, never mind then. That explains a lot. I thought 1968, they don't have TVs back then. They got cameras. They can't be anything. Anyway, thankfully, Frank wasn't hurt and still in character, shouted, "You're not getting anything for Christmas." For his impromptu appearance, Frank was given football-shaped cufflinks and a tie tack and was invited back to be Santa Claus for the next year's game. For some strange reason, he declined.
I can't imagine why. It seemed like such a fun time.
What did you not just listen to me? He had hoagies thrown at him.
Dude, that's food. They fed him. They gave him beer. They also gave him hydration from snowballs. You know, he had to walk on the field, which is a huge honor.
I'm laughing because I just remembered the Grinch. This is not pudding. Makes me laugh every time.
That's what they were doing. They're like, this is not pudding.
This is not snow. All
right, to wrap it up, we've got the Great Santa Brawl.
Oh, fun.
New York, 2003. The Islanders NHL hockey team had a problem. Their arena was almost empty on all of their game days. Having an awful season, hadn't won the playoffs in a decade. I don't even know if they made the playoffs in over a decade. They needed to do something. Okay. They needed to put butts in them seats, draw those fans back, get support. And, you know, at this point, they're like, man, we're losing money. What do we got to do? It's December. Oh, we're playing Philadelphia. They had a crazy Santa thing that they did in 1968.
They sure
the Eagles.
did, yeah.
Let's do a Santa thing.
Let's do it.
Because they had a fan in a Santa suit that saved them.
You're right.
So you know what? In spirit of holidays, let's do a promotion where if you wear a Santa outfit, you get in free.
Oh, nice.
And then you're able to join a parade on the ice at the first intermission after the first period.
That sounds pretty cool. I don't see how this could be a problem. How is it a problem?
So on game day, Santas descended onto the stadium in droves. There were 100, then 200. And by the end of it, more and more Santas appeared. There were somewhere between 500 and 1,000 Santas in the stands on the puck drop. Things were festive and fun. The game started, and it was a great time. And then intermission hits. The Santa army approached the ice.
This like a K-pop thing, like the K-pop army comes in.
Yeah, it's just thousands of Santa Claus trying to all march onto an ice rink.
Oh, that would be terrifying, yeah.
They started off great. And then a few Santas tore open their coats, revealing New York Ranger jerseys.
Oh, okay.
The rival in city.
Okay, all right. Mm-hmm.
And all hell broke loose. Few of the hundreds of Santas attacked the Rangers fans, ripping off their jerseys. Chaos on the ice. Minutes fighting, fists thrown, clothes torn off every direction.
Mm-hmm.
Took several minutes to break up the fight, and things calmed down. The herd of confused and angry Santas were shoved off the ice. Things thankfully didn't get too violent. No one was seriously injured.
There were thousands of them, you said.
Zamboni threats.
Oh, yeah. That would
Death
get
by
me
Zamboni. Walls of Zamboni.
Yeah.
Get off the ice or get run over.
Yeah, that would do it for me, yeah.
Yeah. So things didn't get too violent. Several Santas were escorted and booted out of the stadium for fighting. And the Islanders actually won a game.
Hey!
And the stands were plenty full to celebrate.
Wow.
So I guess their plan worked.
Okay.
So here's a little note from the newspaper afterwards.
Uh-huh.
Empty netter. Talk about your bad Santas. Luckily, the mayhem factor wasn't as great, but the Islanders' Santa Brawl could go down as hockey's version of Bill Veck's infamous Disco Night. Disco Demolition Night at the old Comiskey Park.
Uh-huh.
And on ice, first intermission melee ensued after some fans who had gotten into Tuesday's game at Nassau Coliseum for free by dressing as St. Nick took off their jolly suits to reveal Rangers jerseys as they paraded around. Some Santas faithful to the Islanders jumped them. That was the funniest thing ever, said Rangers defenseman Darius Kasparitis.
Can't fault that.
A former Islander. At least Rangers fans have the guts to do that. Islanders fans wouldn't do that. No Village People records were burned, but maybe next time the Islanders should insist any Santa Claus in the building have their red jersey tied down.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Nothing like supporting creating chaos and mayhem. I mean, in all fairness, wearing that jersey is kind of in good jest as smack talk. I never would expect a team that's losing that bad to get that
What
mad.
year was this?
2003.
Okay. How did 1,000 people coordinate in 2003 to all have this plan? Facebook wasn't a thing.
It was a promotion.
Oh, but how did they
Marketing,
all know
To wear Santa outfits?
No, not the outfit, the jerseys underneath.
Oh,
and
not
when
all
to reveal
1,000
them.
had that. It was 2 people. 2 people had the jerseys.
Oh, I thought 1,000
All of them.
Santas all at once. "Roar!" And then they charged the field and killed everyone. I thought that's what happened.
No,
Just
only
2
2
started
out
a
of the
riot?
thousands. Yeah.
2.
Well, apparently, it's New Yorkers, all right? Nothing against New Yorkers, but New Yorkers. Yeah. It's like Philly fans, but New York.
Uh-huh.
That region, I don't know why. They just get really angry when it comes to
They're
sports.
angry people.
They are. That and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's pretty angry.
Mm-hmm.
Pennsylvania.
Philadelphia.
Yeah. Philadelphia.
Actually, Philadelphia ain't so bad.
Yeah.
I apologize, all my Philadelphians. It's Pittsburgh. That's garbage.
Yeah, just talk to Wade. Wade knows all about that. He said it on stage in Pittsburgh. We did have that weird instance at that Pittsburgh show, though.
What happened?
That was the girl that approached that was like, I stay up all
that
night.
Pittsburgh?
That was Pittsburgh.
Ah,
that was
interesting.
Pittsburgh.
In
So,
all honesty, that was terrifying.
that was horrifying.
You know, it's like,
Nobody was doing anything. We just had a person swipe the mic from Amy
every night.
and slowly walk towards the stage.
All night. Every night. I could tell that she was feeding off the energy of everyone else and being like, haha, this is funny. And I was like,
The crowd wasn't laughing. We were just trying to.
no, there were some that were anyway, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Nothing happened. But yeah. So that's the story of bad Santas at sports, or the sporting Santas, the bad sports Santas.
Terrible Santas. They're on the naughty list.
Ooh, that'll what it would be called.
What did you say? What did you say?
I think I had a stroke.
That'll be a cult. That'll be a cult.
It'll be the naughty Santas. Santa's naughty list.
Okay, all right. A little better. Not
Naughty
much better.
list Santas. Naughty or not?
Mm-hmm. I don't like any of this.
The Santa Claus, but spelled like the movie where it's like a legal clause.
No.
Okay. Anyway, that'll do it for the Santa-filled episode.
Okay.
Santa's gone bad.
Santa's terrible.
The terrible clauses.
But you know when it's not terrible? This mic, now that I fixed it. And also our merch. Store.gmfst.com. Go check it out.
Yeah, should be still on sale, hopefully, when this comes out. So get it while it's hot.
Hopefully. And then it's gone forever.
It's true. It's the end of it.
Be sure to follow the podcast.
Go check out the Reddit, reddit.com/r/gmfst. Post your accuses, post your comments, post your news and other things.
Almost thought he was going to say something else.
I did not say nudes. I said news.
Okay.
Is that what you were worried about?
Editors, make him say it. Duh, 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 duh. Put it in. Duh, duh, duh.
Thank you so much for listening and watching on Spotify, and we'll see you in the next episode, whenever that may be.
Mm-hmm.
Probably next week. Bye.
Bye.